Imagine a national retailer successfully operating in a community of 367 people. Sounds impossible, right? Well, under traditional strategic logic, this should be impossible. However, Dollar General is able to build their entire business model doing exactly that. Dollar General operates in an extremely small, remote communities where other retailers like Walmart cannot profitably compete. In this presentation, we'll analyze Dollar General's strategic positioning using core frameworks, evaluating how changing institutional environment affects its competitive advantage, and propose a new insight that reframes our understanding of the case. Dollar General achieves sustainable competitive advantage through positioning and fit, rather than simply just operational efficiency. Strategy is about choosing how to be different, not just doing the same things better. Dollar General does this by focusing on access-based positioning, serving markets that competitors could not profitably enter. To analyze Dollar General's strategy, we will use the business model canvas framework, which explains how a firm creates, delivers, and captures value. We'll focus on who they serve, what they offer, and how the system works together. This is important because strategy is not just about what a firm does. It's about how all the elements of a business model fit together to produce a sustainable competitive advantage that lasts. Now, I'll hand it over to Adam to explain more about the business model canvas framework.
Now, to understand how Dollar General creates and sustains its competitive advantage, we can break its strategy down using the business model canvas that we have right here. So, starting with value proposition and customer segments right over here. Dollar General is not trying to just be a one-stop shop like Walmart. Instead, it positions itself as the shop, a nearby, convenient place to get essential goods quickly. Rather than offering 140,000 products, Dollar General offers closer to 10,000, prioritizing accessibility and simplicity over variety. Its core customer is the severely cash-constrained consumer, often in rural or underserved areas, who values immediate affordability and convenience over long-term savings. So instead of optimizing for choice, Dollar General optimizes for proximity and purchasing flexibility. Now let's move on to revenue streams and value capture. Dollar General sells smaller product sizes at a higher price per unit, but a lower total cost. For example, instead of buying a large pack of detergent, customers can buy a smaller version for a few dollars. This solves a short-term cash flow problem for the customers, allowing them to make purchases with limited funds. So at the same time, it also increases purchase frequency, meaning customers come back more often, which allows Dollar General to generate consistent, high-frequency revenue over time. Now, at the core of this entire model is Dollar General's cost structure, which is its biggest strategic advantage. Each store operates at an extremely low cost, often under $1,000 per day. This is achieved through two main drivers. First, lean labor. Stores typically operate with only 2 to 3 employees at a time, keeping daily labor costs around $300 to $400. Secondly, low-cost real estate. Stores are located in the rural or underserved areas, like I said, where rent is significantly cheaper, also around $300 to $400 per day. So combined, these create an ultra-efficient operating system that allows Dollar General to profit in markets where competitors just simply cannot. So, to support this model, Dollar General focuses on a few critical activities. These include tight inventory management, strategic location selection, and relentless cost control. So most importantly, the company is built around store replication, meaning it scales by repeating the same efficient model across thousands of locations. So now in terms of key partners, Dollar General works closely with large consumer goods suppliers. Because they only carry 1 or 2 options per product category, suppliers compete heavily to be the selected brand on the shelf. This gives Dollar General strong bargaining power and allows it to maintain low input costs, so that will further reinforce its cost leadership strategy. Now, looking at the channels and customer relationships, Dollar General primarily serves customers through its network of physical retail stores. These stores are strategically placed in high-density clusters across those rural and underserved communities, allowing for maximum accessibility. The company relies very little on advertising too. Instead, proximity itself is the channel. In terms of customer relationship, Dollar General operates on a low-touch transactional model. There is little focus on personalization or loyalty programs. Instead, the relationship is driven by convenience, necessity, and those repeat visits. So, All these elements ultimately reinforce one thing: an extremely low cost structure, minimal staffing, low rent, limited product variety, and standardized operations all work together to minimize those expenses and maximize efficiency. What's important here is that no single element creates Dollar General's advantage on its own. It's the way all of these components fit together as a system. This tightly integrated business model allows Dollar General to operate in markets that are structurally unattractive to competitors, which is the foundation of its competitive advantage.
Given this business model, Dollar General positions itself in markets where Porter's five forces are structurally favorable. The threat of new entrants is low because small markets cannot support multiple competitors. Rivalry is low since Dollar General is often the only retailer. Buyer power is low because customers lack alternatives. Supplier power is low as suppliers compete to be stocked. The threat of substitutes is low due to limited access to other stores. Rather than competing directly, Dollar General operates in spaces where competition is structurally limited. From an internal perspective, using the resource-based view, Dollar General's advantage comes from its system of low-cost operations. This system is valuable because it enables profitability in unreserved markets, rare because few firms can operate at this efficiency, difficult to imitate due to the alignment of multiple activities, and fully organized to capture value. More importantly, this advantage is strengthened by strategic fit. Sustainable advantage comes from activities reinforcing one another, and here, low costs, simplified operations, and location strategy all work together as a system. Dollar General operates as a high-volume small and medium enterprise model, relying on linear growth through duplicating standardized stores. Instead of innovating like an IDE firm, Dollar General scales by expanding into unreserved markets. This allows them to dominate small towns and urban food deserts where competitors like Walmart simply cannot compete.
Let's take a step back. What is the social impact of this business model? Well, in many low-income areas, traditional grocery stores avoid entering due to low profitability and perceived risks. This phenomenon is known as supermarket redlining. This creates what are known as food deserts, where residents lack access to fresh and affordable food. However, while Dollar General's strategy is highly effective from a business perspective, it exists within a broader social and institutional environment that is now beginning to challenge its position. In particular, Dollar General's economic path of least resistance has shifted from being seen as a community benefit to becoming a significant institutional liability. Dollar General steps into this gap, providing basic goods within walking distance for what the case describes as least mobile populations. These populations may not be able to afford a motorcycle or a bike or a car. In this context, the company was initially viewed as plugging a hole or offering access where none previously existed. This gave Dollar General strong, pragmatic legitimacy, which was solving a real and immediate community need.
However, when we evaluate Dollar General through a corporate social responsibility lens, its impact becomes more problematic over time. What initially appeared to be a solution begins to generate significant negative impacts. First, Dollar General contributes to what can be described as a nutritional disadvantage. When a dollar store enters a market, independent grocers, which provide fresh meat, produce, and dairy, often experience around a 30% drop in sales. Many of these stores are forced to close, leaving communities with fewer healthy food options. Second, there is the issue of wealth extraction. Unlike local grocers, whose profits circulate within the community, Dollar General's profits are transferred to external shareholders. This weakens local economic development over time. Third, there are concerns around labor practices. With the majority of employees earning near minimum wage and stores employing fewer than 10 workers, Dollar General creates fewer and lower quality jobs than grocers it replaces. This leads to high turnover and low employee engagement, making it difficult to maintain operations or even basic safety standards.
So, as these impacts become more visible, the institutional environment begins to shift. From an institutional theory perspective, this represents a loss of moral legitimacy, even while Dollar General continues to provide that pragmatic value. We are now seeing increasing grassroots resistance, with employees protesting their working conditions and communities organizing to block new store openings. This has also led to government intervention. Because of these individual short-term preferences, like convenience, can undermine long-term community well-being, those policymakers are stepping in. For example, Tulsa introduced restrictions on a new dollar store in 2018, and since then, dozens of communities have blocked expansion or imposed development limits. This represents what we can call an institutional immune response, where society actively pushes back against a business model it sees as harmful. These institutional changes have direct implications for Dollar General's strategy. The company's competitive advantage depends on rapid geographic expansion into underserved markets. However, if local government continues to restrict new store openings, Dollar General faces a growth ceiling. Its primary engine for scaling, replicating low-cost stores across new locations, becomes constrained. So in addition, by following the path of least resistance, Dollar General risks losing its social license to operate. What was once seen as a solution is now increasingly viewed as a black hole that drains communities of variety and vitality. This creates a fundamental mismatch between the company's profit model and the long-term health of the communities it serves.
Traditionally, management might approach this problem using causal reasoning by trying to build an internal fresh food supply chain. However, this would likely fail because it breaks down Dollar General's low-cost model by introducing more complexity, more labor, and higher operational risk. Instead, we propose using effectual reasoning, which focuses on leveraging existing resources and building strategic partnerships rather than trying to control everything internally. This starts with redefining the problem. The basic need is not that Dollar General needs to sell carrots. That's just a surface level solution. The real need is for Dollar General to coexist with fresh food providers to regain its social license to grow. This shifts the strategy from internal expansion to external collaboration.
Overall, Dollar General's competitive advantage is shaped not only by market forces, but also by evolving social and institutional expectations. As these expectations shift, its current strategy will become increasingly vulnerable, suggesting that long-term success will depend on its ability to adapt. And this raises a key strategic question. If Dollar General's advantage is creating institutional resistance, how can the company adapt its model without losing its efficiency? Our key insight builds directly on our earlier analysis. In part 1, we showed that Dollar General's competitive advantage comes from a highly efficient, low-cost system. And in part 2, we saw that the same model creates social harm, particularly the lack of access to fresh and nutritious food, which is now triggering institutional pushback. So the question becomes, how can Dollar General maintain its efficiency while still addressing the core issue?
Based on this, we propose a strategic move called the Fresh Partner Model, built on co-creation through partnerships. Instead of managing fresh food internally, Dollar General would partner with local grocers, farmers, or vendors. Under this model, Dollar General provides a small, rent-free section of the store, while the partner supplies and manages the fresh produce. This is what we call a co-signed freshness model, where Dollar General maintains its low-cost structure while solving the very problem that is driving institutional resistance.
This approach solves multiple problems at once. It allows Dollar General to maintain its low-cost structure, avoid managing complex inventory, and improve access to fresh food. At the same time, it shifts the company from being a taker in its network, extracting value, to a giver, supporting local economic activity. To test this idea, Dollar General could run a proof-of-concept experiment. For example, a treatment group of cities currently blocking new stores could be offered the Fresh Partner model as a condition for entry. A control group would continue with the standard store format. The company could then measure institutional metrics, such as approval rates, reputational metrics like community sentiment, and financial performance. This allows Dollar General to establish whether this strategy improves both growth and legitimacy.
This insight changes how we understand the case. Instead of viewing Dollar General as a perfectly efficient but destructive little box, we can see it as a potential platform for local economic circulation and community integration. Ultimately, this case shows that Dollar General's success is not just a function of efficiency, but of the environment that it operates in. As that environment changes, the company must adapt, or risk losing the very advantage that made it successful in the first place. Thank you.